Uh, before even I go to what really the Bible conceive about consumption of alcohol, the Catechism of the Catholic Church, number 2290, the Catechism advocates the virtue of temperance, which disposes us to avoid every kind of excess, the abuse of food, alcohol, tobacco, or medicine, or any other things which you can go in excess. So that is really what the Catholic Church advocate, temperance. In Kiswahili they call it kiasi, people moderation. And when you read the Bible itself, really, the Bible does not condemn alcohol as alcohol. The Bible condemns drunkenness. That's what the Bible condemns. The Bible condemns drunkenness because drunkenness by itself is a sin. So that's what the Bible condemns. But Bible does not condemn alcohol because alcohol by itself it has many usage. Yeah, in the Bible you see even alcohol it's a medicine. If you remember in the gospel when Jesus was narrating about that man who was moving to Jericho, then he was robbed and beaten by people seriously and injured. So that good Samaritan who helped that man, among the few things which he had as a medicine was wine. He poured wine to the wounds. So you see that how can you condemn wine? And the wine was used as medicine. So by pouring the wine to the wound, it cannot be a sin because it's the wine, yes, but it's a medicine. So it depends, really, what are you doing with that alcohol? Yes, the position is very clear. Like the Protestants, for them, they are very clear that their faithful should abstain completely from the consumption of alcohol, regardless to which amount is taking half a glass, but abstain total abstinence of alcohol. That is their position. But the position of the Catholic Church is that people should have temperance, should have moderation in everything they consume, not only alcohol, even food. So that is really the position of the Catholic Church. In the Jewish community, really, for them, wine was considered as a source of joy because in most of the Jewish celebrations, wine could be there. It's like in our context, in Luya people, busa, you can't miss busa. I don't know for Kikuyu, Mulatina, for people, Chaga people of Tanzania, Mbege, those are the kind of, they can't miss in the celebration because of our cultures and traditions. So in the tradition of the Jewish, it was wine, which really, it is really more expressed in the Bible because the Bible was written in the context of Jewish culture, especially the Old Testament. So looking at it, really, wine by itself, personally, as I said, I don't have a problem with it because wine by itself doesn't have any problem. The problem will become to the user of the wine. Yeah, as you can see, even the wedding of Cana. Imagine the first public ministry of Jesus, the first public ministry of Jesus. What the first miracle was, he changed water into wine. So some people they say no, Jesus changed the water into wine. That wine was not fermented. It was juice wine. No, there's no way you can have a juice wine. Some they say it was a real wine, and it was not now. It was the good one, the standard one. Even those people at the high table were happy with it. Yeah, but all in all, all in all, all in all, wine by itself doesn't have any problem. The challenge is for the users. So my appeal is that we should concentrate more, not on condemning the wine. We should concentrate more and appealing to condemn those people who are really doesn't have temperance, doesn't have moderation in everything. That people they should do everything in moderation, and also people should be responsible in uses of things. For example, as I tell people, when you look at knife, does knife has any problem by itself? When you use it to cut onions, cabbages, it doesn't have any problem. No. So when you use a knife to stab somebody, to slaughter somebody, to murder, to cut somebody, so whom should you condemn? The knife or the person who did? This is the person. So that is my stand. We should not condemn the substance. We should condemn the person. And that's the church what it did. And the Bible really condemned drunkenness, not the alcohol. The proverb, it really advocates for moderation, temperance. Joshua bin Sila, the book of Silak, also advocate for moderation and temperance. But Paul in Ephesians really condemn drunkenness. And Paul, when was mentioning the sins, among the sins which really can stop somebody to inherit the kingdom of God, one of them was drunkenness. Drunkenness. So, still, even Paul himself, he was condemning drunkenness. That those people who take alcohol in excess, who really doesn't understand the proper use of substance. And people, they should be very careful, especially when they're approaching this question of alcohol. They should know that even medicine which are legal, if they're abused, they are called drugs abuse. They aren't again drugs, they aren't again medicines, they are drugs abuse. So anything if we abuse really, it can't help. So even the Bible, so Paul him took the position that no, drunkenness should be condemned seriously. That was his position. Yeah, but in general, because of the Bible we read as a whole, that the Bible condemned drunkenness. Really, this is a pride because temperance is a virtue. Is a virtue. In the virtue which should be really embraced by people. And the only way to help the contemporary society is to help them to understand the importance of this virtue. of temperance and moderation, because the times they understand doing everything with temperance, with moderation, most of things they will go very well, and it will tackle many problems, individualism, selfishness, because those things come because people don't have temperance, don't have moderations. People, they want to accumulate everything for their own. So it's not only temperance to tackle the problem of alcohol, it's in all aspects of life. That's why the church, Christianity, is very clear that people should be moderate. People, even in their dressing code, they should be moderate. So I think that is personally my position, that I advocate for temperance. Yes, we have many examples in the Bible, really, who abstain themselves from the alcohol, and most of them, like we have the group called Nazarenes. Nazarenes, they are the people really who were dedicated from their birth to God, and in the Nazarene cultures and traditions, those people were not allowed to consume meat, no alcohol, most of things. And one of them is like Samson. You have heard about Samson. Samson in Nazarene could not even shave his hair. He could not take wine. He could not take meats. So we have such people like Samson. Even John the Baptist himself was a kind of Nazarene, because he was taking honey and I don't know how they call it in this nzig. How do you call them in English? I think grasshoppers or he was taking, yes, grasshoppers and honey. You see, so it was a different approach. Yeah, but Jesus, when he came in, he changed the picture. You remember, as I said, the first ministry in the celebration, he gave people wine in the celebration, but also in his last celebration before he died, he offered bread and he offered wine. And that wine is a substance which he used as a symbol and a sign of his blood, which will be poured to us. So people, they should understand that we have many figures there, like those people. It influenced a lot, because looking at the Jewish people, you know, Jewish people, when you read the Jewish people, if in their place, the fruits which they grow, they are grapes. And you know, in the grapes, what you can get is wine. So that's why when you read the Bible, they talk a lot about wine. There's nowhere they talk about Martina, Musa, because in the context, in their culture, maybe they don't have those things. If reading the Bible could be written in the context of Bungoma or Kakamega, you could see a lot of busa, the way you see wine. So that I think, and for the Jewish people, in their celebration, wine could not miss. That is their culture. So that's their understanding. But still, even in them, they condemn those people who really take wine, they get drunk. Even some, they could forget even to take care of their families. That one was really condemned, even by the Jewish people. And you see, like when you read the book of Sirach, chapter 9:7, you see the way Joshua bin Sila is asking that what can you say about life without wine? So he was comparing that the sweetness of life and wine. It's because of the context of his culture that in a celebration, in a gathering, really wine should be there too, to make people to enjoy and be joyful, and to have brotherhood sharing, fraternal sharing among themselves. I think that was really the center, and really it has influenced the traditions even today. Yeah, for example, if you go today to Italia, Italia, wine is a part of a meal. When you are taking your meal, the glass of wine is there. That is Italia. When you go to Moshi in Tanzania, mbege, mbege is alcohol, but it's kind of a porridge, but it has alcohol content. It's a part of a meal. So even young people, they take mbege even children because it's like porridge. It's healthier. So it's a matter of culture. Really, our culture influences us a lot in the understanding and perspectives. There is a joke, especially of people of Moshi. I remember the joke was when missionaries went to Moshi, they told Chaga people, no, polygamy is not good. They understood, they accepted. But when missionaries they touched the mbege, their local beverage, they said, my friend, if that's the case, you can go back with your message. So the only way if you can listen to you, don't touch this, because still for Chaga people, that local beverage, that mbege, it was not only for joy. It's also have its spiritual significance. And that is, I think, it's most of African cultures. Alcohol is having spiritual also significance. Those who are going to pray to the ancestors and what, they could use what? They could use alcohol. And it still is the same, remember, even today, even in the time of Christianity, time of Jewish people, still even in a prayer, they could use wine. Even today, the church, in a Eucharistic celebration, we use wine. So it has spiritual significance. That really, alcohol should be avoided. If really you take it, and you're going to disturb people for taking it, really you should stop to take it. And if I'm your pastor, I recommend you not to take it. If really, when you take alcohol, it distracts you, you become violent, you disturb people, that one I recommend such kind of person really should avoid it by any means, because it's not helpful to him as a person. Yeah, as you know, you are considered, especially even in our society today, as a good person, as a responsible person, when you are cool, you are responsible, you are not violent. So, and most of people really, when they take excess alcohol and they become drunk, most of them, they become stubborn and violent, and most of them, they become responsible, especially those husbands with their families. that can end up even to abandon their families. So really, to avoid that, really, we will encourage people. We will encourage people to have moderation, temperance, and still those who are able to abstain from alcohol still encouraged, because still abstain, still it's a good thing. If really you can abstain, we encourage it. But if you can't abstain, be moderate. So encourage both, because we are not advocating for drunkenness. No, we really condemn drunkenness, and the only way to reduce the drunkard people in society is to have many people who have abstained from it. So those who are able to abstain. Those who are able to be temperate and moderate, be. And remember, the way the whole scriptures they're teaching us, they're inspiring us, is that our body is the temple of the Holy Spirit. Is the temple of the Holy Spirit. And Jesus also was very clear. Whatever enter in us does not make us unclean, but whatever goes out from us. And looking at it, what Jesus looking at his concept, and the concept of our bodies, the temple of the Holy Spirit, it means always, most of people, when they're drunkard, what they exhibit outside from the actions, most of things are immoral. They will fight, violent, irresponsible, even irresponsible sex, most of bad things. So that's why really we advocate for temperance, but also for those who are strong, who are able to abstain from it, they can do it. That's why in the church, Catholic Church, in fact, we have the spiritual movement is the pioneer, if you have heard of pioneer, the Sacred Heart of Pioneer. The Sacred Heart of Pioneer, especially this, it's there for the young people or any person who really want to vow to God, to the Sacred Heart of Jesus, that I'm going to abstain from consumption of any alcoholic substance for 10 years or for life. And out of that, I'll be offering to God my prayer for all people who are suffering from drunkenness. So in the church, you have such spiritual movement. Those people really who have dedicated themselves to pray for the people who are suffering from drunkenness, and also themselves to give that part of luxury, to abstain from it completely for a certain period or for perpetual, for life long. The discussion, I think it is very relevant, because the contemporary society, our society, does not face only the problem of alcoholism. It faces also the abuse of many substances. We have drugs abuse. We have those marijuana, bangi, those cocaine, many of them. And really, they're disturbing our society, especially the young generation. So really the society should always talk about this concept of alcoholism, drunkenness, drugs abuse from the families, in the context of the church, to their local Christian community, up to the parish and the diocese, to organize many seminars, workshops for awareness to the young generation about what really entails in alcohol and those drugs abuse. My advice is that to God, always we are not late. People, they should not give up because they are addicts. First of all, they should seek the medical attentions so as they can come back to their normal situations, so they can be treated, especially to go to the rehabilitation centers for treatments, for counselings, guidance, so they can come back to their normal state. Yeah, and from that, they should come back to the church to seek God, and to follow God in His ways. I think that will help a lot in redeeming the young generations, really, because it is exposed to alcoholic substance, which nowadays there are a lot that produced a lot. But also, I appeal to young generations to embrace the virtue of temperance and moderate in whatever they are doing.